Hi everyone, this is Maggie. Thanks for stopping by to see me today. I hope everybody is doing well. We are going to go ahead and try to get started on the library journal. Now I have made some pieces of ephemera for the journal, and some of them had to be decorated, so I did that off camera. Let's see here. Here's the big tag with the hidden journaling spot. This is one of the fussy cuts that I had already had. I did find some more fussy cuts, and I'll show those to you. So, and then I haven't put the paper in here yet, or the tag, but I will. Okay, this is the folio, or the all all book page pocket and tag that we made the other day, and I showed you how to make it. I did go ahead and decorate it. The only thing I've put in here so far is like this library checkout card, and I had this like I think that's kind of like houndstooth trimmed in black. So I decided to use that to kind of decorate it. This is the belly band. And then just some black ribbon here and here. And another fussy cut and some music paper and a little tag. And then on the back, here's another little pocket. And the saying says, "Grown-ups enjoy reading also." And this ribbon needs to be trimmed off. And then the front, or it doesn't matter which is the front, this or this one. Another fussy cut of books, and just a scrap of fabric and a label and the ribbon. So once I've got a topper and the tag and all the pockets are decorated, it'll have more color and will come to life a little bit more. Now this is the little folio that I had already cut the pieces out off camera and put it together on camera. Since then, I finished it up. Again, I haven't really put anything in it yet because I'm kind of waiting to see how many signatures I'm going to have and how many pockets I'm going to need, etc. So this is the inside of this. I had this paper, if you could see it in real life, you'd see that it looks kind of like cloth, almost like the inside covering of an old book. And I can't think right this moment where I got this from, but I can certainly tell you if you're interested. And I just put a brown piece of ribbon here and on this little pocket, and this on here says Imagine. And then you open it up, and there's another little pocket here, and it says Library. And then here's all of our pages, and I just stamped a little floral stamp on every page. And then here's the back of it with this pocket. It's very hard to see this pocket. I mean, it just matches up perfectly. So I did pull this out of what I had laying on my desk, and went ahead and put this checkout card in here. It's Shipley and Barnes Public Library, Mary Ann, and the authors are Mary Ann and Justin, and the title is Our Love Story. And the last time it was checked out was in on August 15th, 1917. So anyway, that's cute. Anyway, I like the way this turned out. I didn't quite know, it took me a minute to decide what to embellish it with, But because there is some green here in some of these books, and I decided I had put this green paper in for the pocket and the belly band and so forth because of the green. I didn't think the green lace would hurt it any, and I don't think it did. Again, I think it's very cute. And then here is our faux book with the corner protectors and a public library card in the pocket, and then just a scrap pad. And I don't often use a lot of the pockets that come with the kit for one reason or the other. But I did decide to pull this one out and possibly use it, because if I'm not able to hinge this to a page for whatever reason, this will fit nicely in here and kind of go along with these books. This was a printable, a digital that I printed out. I had to resize it, but I thought if I needed to, these would make cute pockets. There's a brown one. All the fonts are different. And there's 4 of them, so I thought these would make really pretty nice pockets here. They're 5 inches long and about 3, maybe a little over 3 inches high. So they're a little short for a pocket, but just to put, there's really no big ephemera in this kit. And I thought I would use, my plan is to kind of take some of the cards from some of these fussy cuts, like this one for instance, you know, it's supposed to be a book, and use it as a tuck spot for some larger journaling cards. And a lot of times what I do is I take pages that were meant to be journal pages, and if I'm not going to use them, then I'll just make a large journal card out of them. So, and I like to tuck it into something because not all the pockets are large enough to accommodate that. So we'll look at the fussy cuts later. We got some pockets. I do have my chipboard in here for my writing board, and I like to put 2 pieces together and then cover it because it just makes it sturdier. I set some couple of bingo cards aside. Excuse me. I do like to make tuck spots out of these bingo cards. I think they're just so cute. And this happens to have a map of some sort on it. So we may be using these. And I have my my master boards, of course, which I will more than likely probably cut up for tags and maybe some journal cards. This is the first one we made, and this is one we made this last Monday or yesterday. So I think these will go fine in the in this kit with these pages, and we'll kind of go through the pages again later when I am a little bit more sure. Now, what did I do with my fabric for my cover? That's really kind of what I was waiting on. I'm going to put all the, oh, here it is. I took it out in the basket. So my fabric came today, and it looks kind of like that one journal page, but it's not actually. But the colors are beautiful. I mean, I just, they're very rich, and I just think it's it's a nice piece of cloth. I think it's going to make a nice journal cover. I actually could get 2 journals out of this, and I probably will make another one. So I'll have the cover for it, and this piece of cotton just feels so nice. I really, really like it. It's it was from Morris Creative Group 2023 for QT Fabrics. That really doesn't mean enough to me except for the Morris. But it's a very nice piece of fabric. I did get it on Etsy, and it's a full fat quarter, and the cost of the fabric was very reasonable, but the shipping always adds to it, and it's so lightweight. So I'm looking forward to that. So today we're going to try to start and get the basis of our cover made. We'll need this, our paper trimmer, and the first thing we're going to do, and this is the right height for my spine. It's 2 inches, a little 2¼ inches wide, and I'm not sure yet. Oh, I wish I was. If I'm going to make it a 1 or a 2 signature journal. So I'm thinking I'm going to make it a one signature for sure, and I'll just need to take some papers out before I'm ready to put my signature together. So I'll cut this in half and cut my other 2 pieces down to size so we can get going on this. So it's very much later in the day. I usually do my videos in the morning so I can upload them, but I had a fair amount of things I needed to accomplish before I could record anything, so I decided to just wait and hopefully be able to do it after dinner, that's what it is. It's after dinner now. And it is a little after 6 p.m. So this is, oh, I'm going to have to go this way. This is a Tuesday, and this will go up tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. All right, so I'm going to cut this 6 by 9, 2 pieces. And we're going to go like this. And I'm using my paper trimmer, but I'm also using a older blade that I took out, and I did label it CB so I would know that it is for chipboard. And I put my good blade, which is a new blade, I put it off to the side. So it's fine to use your paper trimmer to cut chipboard, and this is actually, well, I'll be honest, this feels like heavy-duty chipboard. I'm not sure if it really is or if it's just medium weight, but it is pretty sturdy, and it does flex a little bit, but not a lot. I am going to try to do like maybe a 9 by 12 envelope at some time, and maybe even try the packing paper or packing one of the packages from Amazon to make a cover out of. But for right now, today, I'm going to stick with the chipboard. I like to use it. I feel that the journal is much sturdier. That's the only thing I don't like about this trimmer. The blade is always falling out when you get down to the bottom. So I just use an old blade. I've used this many times. I used it quite a while before I actually took it out and labeled it for chipboard. And I've used it several times to actually cut chipboard. So I just run it back and forth with a little bit of pressure. It doesn't take a lot. It's not like you have to be, you know, a weightlifter. And then it usually just breaks off like this. If it, see, it's just ready to break, but I'm just going to run it through on the other side just to get through that last little bit. And it comes out just like that. So this needs to be cut down to 6. My last video that went up, I don't know if it was the one early this morning or this afternoon, but I did watch it all the way through before it went public. I really don't generally do that, but I just wanted to see, and I probably will do it again because I can learn from my own mistakes, right? Can't we all learn from our own mistakes? So okay, here's my first piece. And it is 9 by 6, okay. And I noticed a couple of things that caught my mind right away. Was I was tending to work completely, I was pulling my work back here, like kind of like this, where you really couldn't see what I was doing. And the other thing I was doing was kind of not speaking as clearly as I should. So I'm working on those two things, trying to keep everything where it should be, and also to speak clearly. The camera has a built-in microphone, which I think is doing fine. I think it's working fine, and I don't need anything else. If you disagree with me, then please let me know. But and when you're going back and forth here, you can kind of feel when it's almost broken through, and so then I know I can try to break it, but if it doesn't break, I just flip it over and cut it again. So I'm going to work on those two things. And the other thing that I know I've been doing is using and you know, that sort of thing a lot. Now, I've never done a lot of public speaking, but I have done some, and I've also for a short time, a couple of years, I was a school nurse through the hospital that I worked for. It was a special program for unwed mothers, teen moms. So it was, I learned so much from doing that and working with those young ladies and their children. So I did some public speaking then because I taught some classes for the girls. Okay, so we have that. So anyway, I should know better. I just need to slow down a little bit and think about what I'm doing a little bit more. I had one of these that was 9 inches. And you know, I save these, but I really have not found a good purpose, a good use for these offcuts, unfortunately. So I'm going to just start throwing them away. I've been trying to, if anybody has any suggestions, I think I'm just going to make this at 1.5 inches, the spine. This will be a hidden spine again. And, see, there I go, This will be a hidden spine, and I think it's going to be 1.5 inches. If it's just a one signature, that's plenty big enough more than big enough for one signature. But if it gets a little chunky, then that gives it a little bit more room. So we'll go with 1.5 inches and hope that I don't decide to make it 2 signatures. If that should happen, then I will just save what I need to take out, like I said, and make another journal. I have the fabric for it. What I will need to do is, what I still need to do for this journal, is find the pages to go on the inside and cover the spine. So I have to kind of sort through my digitals and the background papers and see what I have that might look nice and blend in without being too much. Okay, so I've got my 3 pieces. I can put this away for the time being. I'm going to take this out so I don't forget and put it back in my drawer. So I really hope that everyone's all right, regardless of the time of day. For me, it is Tuesday, and you will see this on Wednesday. So I hope everyone's doing well. I still haven't been feeling real great. I was just really slow today, which was, I guess, part of the reason why I wasn't able to get my video up earlier. Just kind of tired. I'm not congested. I do not believe I'm sick at all. But I'll tell you, if I go without a night's sleep, it can drag me down for days. I'm such a wimp when it comes to that. I never used to be, because I used to work night shift. And while I didn't like working night shift and sleeping during the day was a real problem, I still managed. I never slept on the job. I never took those sleeping lunch breaks. We'll see. Here I go again with these drawers. Trying to find my tape. You know, I get so aggravated with myself in these drawers. I've been in and out of them I don't know how many times, I could tell you. And here it is right in front of my face. So I am going to just put some double-sided tape. It's the, I think this is the, this is Sook Wang, SOOKWANG. Just double-sided tape, and it works pretty well. I'm happy with it. And then I will use something, time for my trusty bifocals here, my trusty readers. I should be getting my new glasses in another week, and I can hardly wait, let me tell you. I am thankful for my vision. I really and truly am. So having to wear readers, or I'm not bothered by that at all. You know, we have to be thankful for what we have and not worry about what we don't have. So we could be pretty miserable if we do that. And I choose not to be miserable. Okay, just brushing it down. And then I just like to take a piece. Now I will use the double-sided tape also when I go to fold this up. When I go to wrap it around the cover. Line it up so it's as straight as I can get it. little granddaughter had to go to the doctor today. She's 4 months old today. I can barely believe it. And the doctor says that I think my daughter's 14 pounds, 8 ounces. And, excuse me, 14 pounds, 8 ounces. And he said he would like to see her a little chunkier. Now, to me, she looks perfectly fine. She doesn't look to me like she needs to be chunkier. She's not a fat baby at all. She just looks healthy to me and not at all underweight, you know. But this pediatrician, for some reason, thinks she should be chunkier. So he said that she needs to start solid foods in about 2 months, which, you know, both my daughter and I knew that around 6 months was going to be time for her to start solids. And I said then she would gain some weight and she needs to start sitting up. She wants to sit up. I don't think that's going to be a problem for this little lady. She wants to sit up. She is very aware, very curious about everything going on around her. I mean, you know how babies are. They just go from this little baby that you keep wrapped in a blanket, and you don't really expect too much out of them. But she is very curious about what's going on around her. Now, in actual fact, I probably really don't need to use this, but, you know, I've got it and I like it. It helps me get things straight because one of my downfalls is not being able to get things straight all the time. I try to center my spine right there as closely as I can. But this does help me keep it all as straight as I can possibly get it. But the doctor says she looks great, you know, and she hates tummy time. She's hated it ever since my daughter started doing tummy time with her. Actually, I think I'll do the spine down first. Ever since my daughter started doing tummy time with her, she has hated it. And we never could figure out why. And I kept encouraging her, Lena, I kept encouraging my daughter, she needs tummy time. It's important for her muscle development. And she has tried repeatedly every day. But the baby just does not like it. She screams and, you know, we didn't know if something was hurting her or what was going on, but the doctor told my daughter today, if she doesn't like tummy time, then don't make her do it, but start letting her sit up. And I want to get her one of those, I think they're called bumbo seats. When I was working at school, the high school for the moms, and my job was really to do classes to teach the girls. Oh, please, glue work. My job was to give classes for the girls, and but my primary job really was to care for the babies, to test them developmentally, and do some parent teaching. Alright, I'm going to have to switch gears here. Now you've seen me do this on camera before. But I bought on my own one of these, I think they're called Bumbo chairs, Bumbo maybe. They're squatty little chairs with a wide base and a wide kind of centerpiece for them to put their legs around. And it sits pretty close to the ground actually. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. This is the PVC glue, it's just the big bottle of it. My problem in using the bigger bottle is I always get too much out. The smaller bottle is nice because it does have the tiny little tip, but you also have, I've got the hiccups. I feel like you have, see, this is what I want to avoid. Just kind of globs all out of there. I'm just going to try to spread this around a little bit. Now I can't remember what I was saying. Alright, well it is what it is. Fortunately this is not going to be seen. Well, I am sorry. I totally lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness. Just pouring out of here. Now I don't know how long I'm going to let this video go. I basically wanted to show you what I did on those pieces of ephemera and get my journal covered, the cover started. I didn't want to, I'm not going to go too far. This is going to be a start to finish. I know I've done this on camera before. And I'm sorry to repeat myself. I'm not trying to teach anything. I'm just showing you what my process is and starting a new journal. So this is, I'm sure you could teach, whoever's listening out there could teach me a thing or two. I guess I just need to take these little glue bottles apart and clean them good. I did just clean them, I don't know, a week ago maybe. Maybe I need to do it more frequently. Well, I'm sure I was talking about my granddaughter, but this is going to drive me nuts now that I can't, because I can't remember what I was talking about. Okay, let me turn this over and kind of smooth this out a little bit. So my son-in-law made spaghetti for dinner tonight and it was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. Oh, my granddaughter and that just had her baby, my first and only great grandchild and little boy. she was discharged today, so that's good. And they're waiting on the baby. He's just not ready to come completely off of oxygen yet, apparently. He was a meconium aspiration is what really happened here. And his chest x-ray, his last chest x-ray apparently still looked like there was some meconium there. But he's not on a lot of oxygen, which is good. And he's eating much better, which is also really good. So, okay. Now, what I need to do is trim this off with my rotary cutter. And I do like to use this for this. I could just use a ruler, but this is just the right length. And I think this blade is about to the point where it needs replacing, and I keep forgetting to order some. They usually come in a little packet. I really haven't bought rotary blades for quite some time. I was making quilts. Oh, that's fine. Over here needs to come off a little bit. I was making quilts, so it was very important to have a sharp rotary cutter. But I really didn't use the smaller one. I should know how many millimeters this is, but I don't. I was using the larger ones, which I know are 45 millimeters. And I'm rather hoping that once I get started on this journal, it won't be difficult to put it together and it'll go by fairly quickly. One of the ladies that we worked with, my daughter really is the one that worked with her in her yarn shop that she had in Northern California, has been battling cancer for the maybe last 2 years or so. And she's just been a real trooper. I mean, just always so thankful for everything. And not a lot of complaining or why me, Lord, you know, any of that stuff. And she there we go, she has, like I said, just been a real trooper, a real warrior, and she now is cancer-free after much prayer and her being cooperative, doing what she needs to do. So very happy for that. Anyway, she saw the purple journal that I had made before I started this, started my YouTube channel, and she saw it on Facebook, and she messaged me asking me if I would sell it. And I said, well, I haven't sold any of my journals yet, but I would like to sell them. She says, well, she wanted to buy that one, and would I sell it to her? And I prayed every day for Denise and her family for over a year, I'm sure. not too long after we came to Texas, actually. And when she posted that she was cancer-free after all that she had been through, I was just so very happy for her and so pleased. So I had told her, yes, I will sell it to you, you know. I just had to check on the shipping. Well, I really felt the right thing for me to do if it was to give it to her, to gift it to her. So that's what I'm going to do. And to celebrate her recovery. So I'm very happy to be doing that. Hopefully I can take care of that yet this week, you know, somehow get it in the mail for her. Okay. So that'll be nice to do that. I think this is 90-pound cardstock. I haven't had any trouble with it cracking when I fold it. So, that's a good thing. So I think I'll put my sides down first. My top and bottom, I mean. Ay, 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 ay. Now I had that tape right here, and now I can't find it. Go figure. Fortunately, I had some more, and this is 1/2 inch wide. So yeah, once I get this part, get it covered with the cardstock, then I will need to, I'll need to find a inside paper to cover the spine and to finish that part of the cover up. Because this material is so busy with all these books and colors, more than likely I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to make another topper for it. I probably will just leave it like this because these colors here are really beautiful. But I'll know better about that when I get ready to finish the journal up. Finish the cover up. So I hope everybody's week is going good so far. Mine has been pretty uneventful, which I actually consider a good thing. I like the quiet life. I do. I really like the quiet life. Now, it was a little bit different when my husband was alive because he was a much more social person than I was. He was not an introvert like I am. And he enjoyed being around other people. He enjoyed being around his family. I mean, when we were, the first several years of our marriage, we lived in Michigan. And we spent so much time at his parents' house, or, you know, and one of his sisters and her husband, they kind of bought the house together and they lived in it. So everybody gathered there, you know, for just get-togethers to watch the ball game. They were big Michigan State, no, U of M. Were they U of M now? I don't remember. Well, it was either U of M or Michigan State. I obviously am not a football fan, so I don't remember what team it was. But the rival team was Ohio State. And so these games were particularly of interest to the whole gang of brothers and sisters. And at that time, he had two other sisters living in Michigan, and my husband and a younger brother and cousins, yeah, tons of cousins. His other brothers, for the most part, were in Colorado. One of his brothers was a missionary to Spain during that time period. But all the relatives that were around and wanted to come would be there to watch these two rival teams. And we had some friends from our church, a couple that were about my husband and I's mine age. I think we were pretty close to the same age. And they would always come to these get-togethers as well. And they were from Ohio, as well as he had played football for Ohio State, and his wife was a cheerleader for Ohio State when they went to school there. So they were, of course, married, had been married for several years, and they had a baby girl that was basically the same age as my younger one. They were in the nursery together all the time. And so those two girls grew up together in the church, and they went to the same school for several years. So anyway, we were friends, and they were the Ohio State fans, and the rest of our family was Michigan. I think it was Michigan State. And they would have such a good time. And David and his family, they loved to laugh. They just loved to laugh. And David used to say that when he was in high school, he didn't need to drink, and he didn't. He never ever touched alcohol. He didn't need to drink because he was just so goofy without it. And he was just, he loved to laugh, and he loved to joke around, and he could be a lot of fun to be with. So that was a nice time in our lives, for sure. Okay, now okay, so I think I'll see. We've been on here 48 minutes. I think I just talked too much, but I did want to show you the things that I finished up. Oh dear me, excuse me. I forgot to turn my phone off. I wanted to show you those pieces that I had finished decorating for the most part. And just a show and tell. If I can get this cloth on, then I'll be good to go. And before I do my next video, I will find my coverings for the inside, and then decide on my signature. How many pages do I want to? Which pages do I want to keep? And you know how that goes, I'm sure. Okay. Well, this isn't going to show anyway, but there's obviously some glue on there. Alright, let me put some stuff away. I used to, in the beginning, well, I'm going to need this to trim the fabric. In the beginning, I would not put things in the same place when I was done with them. I was so bad at that. And so I was constantly losing things. So I have since learned to make it a habit. I have a place to put things. I try to put them there. And it has helped me a lot. Alright, so now we're going to try to cut my fabric and get the cover on. I don't know why I've got hiccups. Let me drink something. Maybe on the next video we'll start out by cutting up these master boards and making some tags. Alright. So I believe all I have to do is tear this in half, and it's going to be plenty big enough for I need to come down just a little bit. Alright, let me tear this. Tearing it is so much easier than trying to cut it straight. So now I will have this for another cover, which will be lovely. These strings in my little string jar. Yet to know what I will do with them, but I know I'll probably get tired of doing this after a bit and just not do it anymore, because I really don't know. If anybody knows a good use, decoration or whatever for these strings, then let me know. I'm still just waiting for them to all join back together and form a piece of cloth. I don't need this anymore. I'm going to use my Fab-O-Tac. Okay. I have a little strip here that I can use for something. I was, now I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you all this. I'm only expressing what I was feeling. I don't want you to feel, it's not sad, and I don't want you to feel sorry for me or anything like that. But when we went to church on Sunday for Easter service, I and we had the baby there with us, which was amazing. I felt at one point I almost couldn't breathe. I couldn't catch my breath. And because I felt this overwhelming sadness. I had a hard time grieving after my husband passed away. For one thing, I just, I couldn't understand why he passed when he passed. I really couldn't. It was a bit of a mystery to me. I mean, I knew that he had gotten an infection. I mean, I understood the physiology and everything, but I just wasn't expecting it when it happened. And so I had a hard time grieving. And then I've dealt with it over the last year and 4 months to the best of my ability. But for some reason on Sunday I felt especially lonely, or I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest with you. But I realized that I was feeling that way because all the decades, all the years, all the Easters that we were in church together, because we were active in church, at Easter time or any holiday or any time of the year really, but all of those occasions when my children were younger and, you know, get all dressed up and go to Easter Sunday service, and that we just really took them for granted. You know, I don't think anybody ever told me, don't take these times for granted. I don't think anybody ever told me that. Perhaps it's something that one should know innately, but I didn't. I don't think I did. And so I realized that I had taken so much for granted, and I was really overwhelmed by that to the point where I almost had to get up and leave the service because I felt like I couldn't breathe. But it passed, you know, it passed. It was just a feeling that I was going through at that time because I had not really completely grieved for my husband. I had a hard time accepting his death. And that's just the way it was. That was my dealing with it. When my mother died and my father died when I was young because he was older, so much older than my mother. And my mother died young. But I was kind of the same way with them, especially my mother. I could not believe she was gone so early. She was only 64 when she passed. And I never felt that I really grieved properly for her. I kind of held it all in to some degree. And but for my husband, that seemed to be especially the case. Oh, this is so pretty. This fabric, I can't get over it. when you look at it on the camera, it almost looks like those are real books. Kind of deceptive. So anyway, it was a moment. It passed. Didn't make me depressed or anything. Just made me especially thankful for where I am now and for what I have now and for this beautiful granddaughter that is bringing so much joy into my life that I can hardly believe it. This doesn't look like it's straight. So anyway, like I said, I wasn't depressed. It was a moment in time. I understood what was happening. I felt it and dealt with it, and then now it's just a memory. I hope that makes sense to you. So anyway, thank you for listening to that. Did I put that rubber cutter away? So, one thing we should learn and teach our youngsters is not to take anything for granted, especially when they start entering into young adulthood. And it's like I told my little granddaughter that just had her baby. I told her, honey, don't take a moment for granted, because they go by so quickly. And I know you've heard people say that. Her own mother has probably told her, I'm sure. But it does go by so quickly. And you can't, once they're all past, you can't get them back. No matter how hard you may want to do that, it's just not possible. So we have to cherish those moments and be happy in those moments and try to remember the things that are really important in our lives so we don't get caught up. See, there I go pulling this back to me. So we don't get caught up in the to where we take things for granted. Life is too short for that. Too short. Now I just try to be happy as much as I can for where I am and for what I'm blessed with in my life. So anyway, that's enough of that. I just wanted to share with you. So we're just over an hour and I'm almost done with this, covering this cover. I have no idea what papers I'm going to put on the inside. I will probably try to figure that out when I get off so that our next time together can be spent figuring out our signatures and getting it sewn in, and then we can decorate. Then I can decide on how many pockets I need, and depends on how many pages get in. That's my little Annabelle. She's Annabelle, no girl. She's a pretty good little dog. But when she gets to barking, her bark is so high-pitched. But fortunately, she's not like my other one, Canelo, who just barks sometimes at nothing. Sometimes he'll just stand in the middle of the room like he's waiting to be attacked and just bark. And I know he's just doing it, in those times, I know he's just doing it for attention primarily. And I think I said that I mean, I tried everything with him. I tried a trainer, professional trainer that came to my house. He said, you know, you've got a very smart dog here, but he's also very stubborn. And I really can't take any. He said, Maggie, I really can't take any more of your money. We really did all that we can do, and he can do it. But the problem is, does he want to do it? Which the answer, of course, to that was no. He wanted to do it his way. So the trainer said, I've enjoyed. He's a beautiful little dog, and he's very smart, and I enjoy working with him. But we're not accomplishing what you need to have accomplished. So that was the end of the training. But I did try. Okay, so here we go. This is going to need book corners on it. I tried to get them all tucked in, but I didn't quite make it. Oh, there goes my sweetheart. She's not happy about something. All right, guys, I'm going to get off for now. Thank you for spending some time with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day, and be blessed. Bye-bye.